Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. If you're new around here, please hit the like button, subscribe to help the channel grow, and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm live on YouTube. Now, I like to think of myself as somewhat of a realistic Spurs fan. I don't overpraise. I don't think I'm overly harsh. Some people will disagree with that. I don't think that every Spurs player is the greatest player I've ever seen. I don't think every player is the worst player I've ever seen. And I don't just say nice things about players and managers for the sake of it. But I've always said I'm not clickbait. Now, people might think this video is clickbait, but I'm telling you right now, this is one I truly believe. I truly believe that Thomas Frank will win a trophy before Arteta. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, this is strange because lots of the conversations since the summer, I've been very open and said, Arsenal have, for me, the best squad in the league. Now, that doesn't mean I think they've got the best first 11. It doesn't mean I think they've got the best player pound for pound. But with depth and the players in their squad, I think Arsenal have created the best squad in the Premier League. Now, I'll get my tin hat on because there'll be many Spurs fans going, he's rubbish and he's rubbish and he's rubbish. But for depth, Arsenal have created a very good squad. So with that in mind, how can I sit here as a Spurs fan and say, Frank will win a trophy before Arteta, but yet Arteta has the best squad in the league? Well, it's this simple for me. And this is going to be one of those statements where I might have to hold my hands up at the end of the year and say I was wrong. But I don't think I will be. Who knows? If I am, what's the worst that happens? The worst thing is, oh no, YouTuber gets football opinion wrong. Damn. Thomas Frank wins a trophy before Arteta because I think Mikel Arteta is a very, very lucky man who is very, very overrated. Now, that's not to say that I don't think he did a good job with Arsenal. Getting them from where they were kind of 8th, 5th, in and around there, and has now got them finishing second every season. It's kind of like, who's going to finish first? Arsenal, who's going to finish third? But as good as that is, I do think it shows that he isn't the guy to take them to the next level. And the problem is, when you are second in the table 3 years in a row, the only place to go from that is first. The only place to go from that is first. You can finish second again, but the fans are expecting it. So the only place is first. I don't think this man has the capability in any way, shape or form to go that extra mile, squeeze the extra bit of juice out of that team and go second, first. I don't think he's got it. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans will agree with me. Now, I'm sure there's going to be loads who disagree with me. You're a salty Spurs fan. No salt here. I'm literally saying you have the best squad in the league. I'm literally saying you've done really well to finish second. But this guy is not the guy. Now, I'll go one step further. This might piss off Spurs fans, but I'm going to say it. I believe that if Arsenal had Klopp, Slot, Pep, Flick, Enrique, I'm worried as a Spurs fan that Arsenal are winning the title with this squad. But they don't have him. They don't have Pep. They don't have Slot. They don't have Klopp, Enrique, Flick. They don't have them. And it's for that reason I don't think they're going to win the league again. Salty Spurs fan. Well, I've been saying this for years. I'm still waiting to be proven wrong. And I'm still happy, like most football fans out there are happy that Arteta is the manager. Now, where does Thomas Frank fit into this? Well, Thomas Frank isn't expected to win a league. Thomas Frank's been at Brentford and done a wonderful job. Yeah, he's not a winner. Loads of people throw that at him, don't they? He's not a winner. He's not a winner. He's not a winner for a club that have won one trophy in 17 years, right? But what he has done is he's shown he can adapt and he's shown that he can coach and make players better. And I think this is the platform he needs to be able to win a trophy. Hence why I think Frank wins a trophy before Arteta. Now, Now, this is not me saying this year Frank wins a trophy. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know how long it will be. I think Thomas Frank will win a trophy as a manager before Arteta. Because as much as I've talked about league position for Arsenal, they have been appalling in all the cup competitions as well. Now, Arsenal fans, before you throw things at me, before you hate me, yes, you got to the semis of the Champions League last year. Yes, you did well. But you weren't very good in it, and you were dispatched by the eventual winners PSG, which is no shame. But other than that, the League Cup, the FA Cup, where have you been? Even the Europa Cup, you're in it. Where have you been? And I don't think this manager can get you over the line. Now, again, Arsenal fans, slow down, slow down. Mikel Arteta won you the cup with Unai Emery's team, with his own team, with roughly £1 billion spent. I think it might be a little bit less, a little bit more. I'm not sure. I don't know the actual ins and outs of Arsenal's finances. With his own team, with over £1 billion spent, he can't get over the line. And that's surely a worry. Now, I think that Thomas Frank will get over the line at some stage when he's built his team. Now, that's why I don't expect it to be this year. Can Spurs win the League Cup or FA Cup this year? Sure, anybody can, depending on the run you have, right? Depending on injuries, form, fitness, depending on who you face, anyone can win a cup within reason. Am I expecting it this year? No. Could it happen? Yes. But I don't ever look at Arsenal and think, this guy's going to get you over the line. Now, I could be wrong. As I said, if I'm sitting here in May and Arsenal lift the FA Cup, I'll turn around and go, fair play. Well done, Arteta. Fair play. Don't get me wrong. It's the bare minimum that the man should be achieving. But I will hold my hands up and say, fair play to you. You got it over the line at last. Well done. The League Cup, sure, I'll do it for that as well, because as per the title of the video, I said Frank wins a trophy before Arteta. But for me, this is the minimum that Arsenal should be doing. Now, I'm not sitting here saying as a Spurs fan, I want to watch Arsenal win trophies. The opposite. But you should be, right? Arsenal should be. And if we all remove our Spurs hats for one moment, shouldn't that Arsenal squad be winning trophies? Shouldn't it? It's stable. They've added a lot of top players there. They've got depth everywhere on the pitch. Shouldn't they be winning trophies? Now, Thomas Frank has got a lot of work to do at Spurs. We've had a good start. There's a lot of work to do. Do I think the squad is capable of winning trophies right now? No, I don't. I think the injuries will start to play a part. And I think that could be the difference. I think we are a couple of injuries away from being an average team versus being a good team. But also, as Sean Butler said to me last night, we're a couple of players away from being a really good team as well. So it works both ways, doesn't it, to give the balance. 2 away from being a very good team, 2 away from being an average team. At the moment, I would just say we're a good team that are building, learning and growing and developing under Thomas Frank. But with that in mind, how could I possibly think that Spurs are going to win a trophy before Arsenal? Well, history shows me that Arteta doesn't get it right. History shows me that Arsenal will play with that metaphorical handbrake on. That handbrake is on. Somebody needs to push that button, because I'll tell you what, the worrying thing for me, if I was an Arsenal fan, would be this. We watched Arsenal a few years ago, and even as Spurs fans went, oh, they play good, don't they? They look good. And then they stopped looking good. And then you're going into games like Man City at the weekend, you're watching them going, why are the attacking players not playing? And I think that's going to be the downfall. So Arsenal fans, take that how you will. If you think I'm putting your team down, fine. But I think most of you will realise that what I'm actually saying is you've got a great squad, but your manager's holding you back. I'm sure there'll be Arsenal fans going, yes, Savva, I agree with you. And then there'll be Arsenal fans going, shut up, you Tottenham mug, blah, blah, blah. He's better than your manager. What's your manager done? Sure. But I think my manager's appetite, I think my manager's know-how, his craft, I think his ability to adapt, we'll see him over the next few years lift a trophy. Now, what will that be? I don't think it's going to be the Premier League or the Champions League, of course. So it will need to be a League Cup or a FA Cup. I do think he's capable of that. I do think that he speaks well. He coaches well. He adapts well. You can see that he knows what needs to be improved. You can see that he'll go pragmatic when he needs to. He'll go attacking when he needs to. I don't think Arteta's got that. So people might call me crazy. But I think Spurs have got a top-class manager here. I think Spurs have got a guy that builds you something. I think Spurs have got a guy that will unite a fan base. Not at first. He won't unite it at first because of the whole Ange Postecoglou Frank thing. He won't at first. But I think he does in the future. I think we get to the end of the first year and go, you know what? That was a good solid year. Whether that's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. I think we look and go, yeah, he's built something there. He's built a platform. The foundations are in place for this guy to build off, for Tottenham to build off. Now, many factors have to happen for that, right, Spurs fans? The board. Whether that's Enoch or whether we get taken over, whoever that may be, whether that's Charrington or Vinay, the board, back the manager. Doesn't have to be world-class players, but it needs to be players at the Paulinho level, Kudus level, Simmons level. Those are the types of signings that need to become the norm and not the anomaly. At the moment, the transfer window we've just seen is the anomaly. We don't normally bring in 3 or 4 first-team players, do we? So that's why I think we will. I think we're going to see a change in tack from Tottenham. Now, time will tell. I could be massively wrong on that. But I think Thomas Frank isn't a guy that says, yeah, I'll just take him. I think this is a guy that knows what he needs. He knows what it takes. And I think he knows how to build and grow a club. Now, yes, it was a smaller scale. But let's look at what he did at Brentford. Taking them from absolutely nowhere in the Championship to getting promoted, to never getting relegated in the Premier League, to being in the top half of the Premier League twice, getting his move to Spurs. For me, he's getting better and better and better throughout his managerial career. Now, yes, you got fans that for me, it's a little bit, I find it a bit silly when people go, he's not won anything. Well, what was he meant to win at Brentford? What was he meant to win? At Spurs, maybe he can make that a reality. But Arteta has shown for years and years that he can't. So I'm going to leave this with you all. I think Thomas Frank wins a trophy before Arteta. Now, this video may come back to bite me in the arse, and we'll have some banter about it at the end of the season. It is allowed to be banter, by the way. Not always, you're a mug, you're this. It is allowed to be a bit of banter. If Arsenal win a trophy before Spurs, I will do a video and go, how wrong was I? Look at this video. I got it wrong. But so far, what I've seen, I don't believe that's going to be the case. So I'll ask you these questions. Who's going to win a trophy first? Frank or Arteta? There's the big one. Who's the better coach? Frank or Arteta? Has Arteta wasted £1 billion? Or has the £1 billion been spent well, but Arsenal have wasted it on Arteta? And can Thomas Frank take Tottenham to higher levels than they have been for the last decade or so? Let me know your thoughts. Very interested to hear. But my headline is that Frank wins a trophy before Arteta. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, please help the channel grow and subscribe. And hit the notification bell. Take care. Much love. And at the moment, there we are in the league, neck and neck. It's all very, very close. It's just goal difference separating the two teams. We have conceded one more goal than Arsenal. Same goal scored. We've conceded one more than them. Same points, same wins, same losses, same draws. But is this just a momentary thing? Or can Spurs keep that up? Let me know your thoughts. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.